The bar was loud that night. Music was playing fast. People were laughing. Glasses were clinking. Neon lights moved slowly across the walls. It was a normal night for most people inside the bar. But for one woman, this night was about to change everything. She sat alone at the end of the bar. She was a black woman, calm and quiet. She wore a simple jacket and jeans. Nothing about her looked loud or flashy. Her hair was tied back. Her eyes were focused on the glass in front of her. She did not look sad. She did not look weak. She looked controlled. People around her did not notice her much. To them, she was just another woman enjoying a drink after a long day. But something about her silence was different. She did not check her phone. She did not smile at anyone. She did not look around. She waited. The door of the bar opened. Cold air rushed inside for a second. Then he walked in. He was tall, broad shoulders, strong walk. His eyes scanned the room like he owned it. His presence changed the energy of the bar without him saying a single word. Some people noticed him right away. A few men nodded at him. A bartender stood straighter. A woman at a table whispered, "Who is that guy?" He wore casual clothes, but his posture told another story. He was used to command, used to respect, used to being obeyed. He walked slowly toward the bar. His eyes stopped on the woman sitting alone. He watched her for a moment. She did not look at him. That made him smile. He sat on the stool next to her. Close. Too close. Still, she did not move. The bartender asked him what he wanted. He ordered a drink without looking away from the woman. Silence sat between them. Then he spoke. "What's your call sign?" His voice was calm, but sharp. The woman did not respond. The man waited, then smiled again. "I asked you something," he said. "Your call sign." The word felt strange in the bar. Call sign. This was not a normal question. Not for a bar. Not for a stranger. Slowly, the woman turned her head. She looked at him for the first time. Her eyes were steady. No fear. No anger. "I don't have to answer that," she said. Her voice was soft. Flat. Controlled. The man laughed under his breath. "Everyone has one," he said, "if they earned it." A few people nearby started to listen. The music felt quieter now. The woman looked back at her glass. "I said no," she replied. Something changed in the man's face. His smile faded. He leaned closer. "You think you're smart?" he asked. "You think you can lie to me?" She did not answer. Her hand stayed still. Her shoulders stayed relaxed. To others, it looked like she was scared. But she was not. The man picked up his drink. "You people are always the same," he said loudly. "Acting like you belong." Before anyone could react, he threw the drink at her. The liquid hit her jacket, her face, her hair. Gasps filled the bar. The music stopped. Everyone froze. The woman did not scream. She did not jump. She did not move. She sat there completely still. Her eyes stayed forward. A drop of liquid fell from her chin onto the floor. The man stood up. "Next time, answer when you're asked," he said. People watched, shocked. Some felt bad. Some looked away. No one spoke. The woman remained frozen. To the room, she looked broken, weak, defeated. The man turned to walk away. That's when something changed. The woman blinked. Once. Slow. Her jaw tightened slightly. Her fingers curled just a bit. She lifted her head. Her eyes followed the man's back. There was no anger in them. Only focus. Only patience. Only control. This was not fear. This was training. And the man walking away had no idea what he had just done. The night was far from over. The bar stayed quiet. Too quiet. No music. No laughter. No glasses moving. Only the sound of people breathing and the low hum of the lights above. The drink slowly dripped from the woman's jacket onto the floor. She still did not move. People began to judge her without saying a word. Some thought, "She is scared." Some thought, "She is embarrassed." Some thought, "She should leave." No one thought she was strong. The man who threw the drink walked a few steps away. He felt proud. He felt in control. To him, this was nothing. Just another moment where he showed power. He turned back. "She's not even crying," he said with a laugh. "Guess I broke her." A few people laughed softly. Not because it was funny, but because they did not know what else to do. The bartender looked uncomfortable. "Sir, maybe that's enough," he said carefully. The man raised his hand. "No," he said. "I'm not done." He walked back toward the woman. Each step was slow, heavy, confident. She felt him coming, but she stayed still. Her breathing was slow, even, controlled. Inside her mind, time felt different. She counted. 1, 2, 3. She remembered a voice from long ago. Do not react. Do not rush. Control is power. The man stopped in front of her. Look at you, he said, frozen like a statue. He leaned closer, so only she could hear. People like you don't belong in places like this, he whispered. You should know your place. Still, she said nothing. That confused him. Most people argued. Most people begged. Most people showed fear. She did none of that. Her silence made him angry. He reached out and tapped the bar hard with his fingers. Hey, he said louder. I'm talking to you. Slowly, she lifted her eyes. Not her head, just her eyes. She looked at his hand first, then his chest, then his face. Her eyes were calm, cold, clear. I heard you, she said. Her voice was steady, not shaking, not weak. That made some people in the bar shift in their seats. The man frowned. Then answer me, he said. What's your call sign? The word hit the room again. Call sign. A strange word with heavy weight. The woman paused. For a moment, it felt like the world held its breath. I won't say it, she replied. The man smiled, but this time it was not friendly. You think you're special? He asked. You think you're better than everyone here? She shook her head slowly. No, she said. I think you're asking the wrong question. A man near the back whispered. What does that even mean? The SEAL captain straightened his back. I don't ask wrong questions, he said. I make people answer. He grabbed his wallet and threw it on the bar. You know who I am? He asked loudly. No one answered. He pulled out a card and held it up. I'm a captain, he said. Special Forces. Some people gasped. Others nodded with respect. A woman at a table whispered, Oh no. The captain looked proud. You see now, he said to the woman. I don't like being lied to. The woman looked at the card. Then she looked back at him. I didn't lie, she said. Her voice was calm, but firm. I refused. That single word changed the air. Refused. Not afraid. Not confused. Refused. The captain's jaw tightened. You don't refuse me, he said. She slowly placed her hands flat on the bar. Not shaking. Not tense. Ready. Already did, she replied. The bartender stepped back. Something felt wrong. This was no longer about a drink. This was no longer about pride. This was about control. The captain leaned closer again. Last chance, he said quietly. Say your call sign. The woman took a slow breath. For the first time, she fully turned her body toward him. People noticed her posture change. Her back straightened. Her shoulders squared. Her eyes locked onto his. Earn mine, she said, and I don't give it to strangers. The captain froze. Just for a second. His eyes searched her face. Something felt familiar. Something fell off. Before he could speak, the sound of a phone dialing broke the silence. The bartender had called someone. Outside, distant sirens began to rise. And in that moment, the captain realized this woman was not trapped with him. He might be trapped with her. The night was turning, and the truth was getting closer. The sirens outside grew louder. Red and blue lights flashed through the bar windows for a brief moment, then disappeared as the police car passed by. They were not stopping. Not yet. The captain watched the woman closely now. Something about her did not fit. She was still calm. Too calm. Most people would be shaking by now. Angry. Crying. Begging for help. But she stood there like nothing had touched her at all. The liquid on her jacket did not bother her. The looks from people did not bother her. The captain's rank did not bother her. That silence, it bothered him. Who are you? He asked. Not loud this time. Not proud. Careful. The woman did not answer right away. She looked down at her hands on the bar. Her fingers were steady. No checking. No tensión. Inside her mind, she was far away from the bar. She was somewhere else. A cold morning. Dark sky. Boots on rough ground. A voice echoed in her memory. Stillness saves lives. She remembered standing for hours without moving. She remembered learning how to control breath, how to shut down emotion, how to wait. Freeze did not mean fear. Freeze meant survival. Back in the bar, the captain shifted his weight. People around them whispered softly. This is getting weird, someone said. She's not normal, another replied. The bartender watched her closely now, not with pity, but with concern. The woman finally spoke. You should walk away, she said. Her voice was low, clear. The captain laughed, but it sounded forced. From you, he said. Why? She looked at him again. Because this moment won't end well for you, she replied. The words were not a threat. They were a fact that made his stomach tighten. He had been in dangerous places. He had faced armed men. He had survived chaos. But this felt different. This felt quiet. Too quiet. He noticed the way she stood now. Balanced. Grounded. Ready. Her eyes did not move much. They stayed locked on him, but not aggressively. Like she was reading him. Measuring him. He had seen that look before. In mirrors. In teammates. In enemies. You military? He asked suddenly. The bar went silent again. The woman did not deny it. She did not confirm it. She simply said, that question costs respect. The captain felt heat rise to his face. You don't talk to me like that, he said. She tilted her head slightly. You already lost the right to tell me how to talk, she replied. A man near the door stood up. Hey man, maybe chill, he said to the captain. This ain't worth it. The captain ignored him. His focus was fully on her now. What unit? He asked. Army? Navy? She shook her head slowly. Stop digging, she said. The captain's pride screamed at him to push harder. He pointed at her jacket. You expect me to believe someone like you served? He said. You froze when I threw that drink. The woman's eyes darkened slightly. That, she said calmly, was restraint. The word hit him harder than any insult. Restraint. Not fear. Not shock. Choice. She took one step closer. Not fast. Not aggressive. Just enough. Freezing is what you do, she continued, when moving would cause damage. The captain swallowed. What damage? He asked. She looked past him at the bar, the people, the tight space. To everyone, she said. The bartender felt a chill. This was no bar fight. This was something else. The captain tried to laugh it off. You think you scare me? He said. She met his eyes. No, she said. I think you scare yourself. That did it. He stepped back. Just one step. He did not even realize it. The woman noticed. She relaxed her shoulders slightly. You came here looking for control, she said. You lost at the moment you touched me. The captain opened his mouth to speak, but no words came out. For the first time that night, he felt unsure. He remembered his training. No one to disengage. But his ego fought back. You still haven't answered me, he said. Your call sign. The woman paused. This time, her silence felt heavy. Dangerous. That name, she said slowly, is buried with people who didn't come home. The bar felt cold. No one in this room has the right to hear it, she added. The captain's face changed. His eyes softened. He finally understood. This was not a game. This was not a lie. This was a line he should never have crossed. Before he could speak again, the sound of footsteps came from outside. Real footsteps. Getting closer. And, suddenly, the captain realized something important. This woman did not freeze because she was powerless. She froze because she was trained to wait. And whatever was coming next, she was ready. The footsteps outside stopped near the door. Voices followed. Low. Serious. The captain felt the shift before anyone else did. He had lived his life reading rooms, reading danger, reading people. That skill had kept him alive in places far worse than this bar. And right now, the most dangerous thing in the room was not the police. It was the woman standing in front of him. He straightened his back again, forcing confidence into his posture. Rank had always been his armor. I've served for over 15 years, he said loudly, as if reminding the room, and himself, who he was. I've led men into hell and brought them back. Some people nodded. Others stayed silent. The woman listened without expression. I didn't get here by being soft, he continued. I earned every inch of respect I have. She finally spoke. Respect isn't taken, she said. It's given. Her words were simple, but they cut deep. The captain clenched his jaw. You think I don't know what sacrifice looks like? He asked. You think I don't know loss? Her eyes softened for a brief second. Then they hardened again. I think, she said slowly, you forgot why you started. That hit him harder than the drink ever hit her. The bar faded for him. For a moment, he was somewhere else. A dusty road. Heavy gear. A younger version of himself. Nervous but proud. He remembered his first mission. He remembered fear. He remembered believing the uniform meant something bigger than ego. He shook the memory away. "This isn't about me," he said sharply. "This is about you lying." She shook her head. "I didn't lie," she replied. "You demanded." The captain laughed, but there was no humor in it. "You froze," he said. "That's not training. That's fear." The woman took a slow breath. "No," she said. "Fear is loud. Fear reacts." She paused. "Control stays quiet." The words settled over the room. A man near the window whispered, "Damn." The captain felt his chest tighten. He remembered drills. Long hours. Learning how to shut down emotion. He remembered being taught to stand still under pressure. Freeze. The realization made his skin prickle. "Who trained you?" he asked before he could stop himself. The woman's gaze sharpened. "That question," she said, "is not yours to ask." The captain exhaled slowly. His tone changed. Less force. More caution. "You speak like someone who's been there," he said. "But I've never seen you." She allowed a small smile. "That's the point," she replied. The bartender swallowed. This was no longer an argument. This was two professionals circling each other. The captain took a step back, creating space. The room breathed again. "I made a mistake," he said, though the words tasted bitter. "But don't pretend you're above this." She tilted her head. "I'm above disrespect," she said. Silence followed. Then the captain did something no one expected. He removed his jacket and placed it on the bar. Slow. Deliberate. A sign of de-escalation. "I crossed the line," he admitted. "But you're hiding something." The woman nodded once. "Yes," she said, "because it's not for you." He studied her face. The calm. The discipline. The weight behind her eyes. He saw it now. This woman carried stories she would never tell. "You didn't freeze because you were weak," he said quietly. She did not answer, but she did not deny it. "That's a tactic," he continued, "used to avoid damage." Her silence confirmed it. The captain closed his eyes for a brief moment. Guilt crept in. He had judged her, belittled her. Assumed power gave him the right. "I forgot myself," he said. She looked at him. "Rank doesn't protect you from being wrong," she replied. The words stayed with him. The police officer opened the door and stepped inside. The room tensed. "What's going on here?" the officer asked. The captain spoke first. "I caused a disturbance," he said. "It's on me." People gasped softly. The officer raised an eyebrow. "You sure about that, sir?" The captain nodded. "Yes." He turned to the woman. "I owe you an apology," he said. "But I also need to understand one thing." She waited. "Why didn't you stop me?" he asked. "Why let go that far?" The woman met his eyes. "Because stopping you," she said calmly, "would have exposed things better left buried." The captain felt a chill. Buried. That word carried weight. He suddenly understood something important. This woman was not hiding from the world. She was protecting it. And in trying to dominate her, he had revealed the weakest part of himself. Before the officer could speak again, the woman picked up her bag. "This ends now," she said. The captain stepped aside. For the first time that night, he did not feel like a leader. He felt like a student. And the lesson was not over yet. The woman took one step toward the exit. The room watched her move. Not because she was loud. Not because she demanded attention. But because something about her presence now felt heavy. Important. The captain stood still, his hands at his sides. For the first time that night, he did not try to stop her. "Wait," he said. His voice was different. Lower. Calmer. Almost respectful. She stopped, but did not turn around. The police officer looked between them, unsure. The captain took a slow breath. "There's something I need to know," he said. "Not for my pride. For my understanding." The woman turned slightly, just enough to see him. "Understanding comes after respect," she replied. The captain nodded once. He had no choice but to agree. "Then let me earn that," he said. The bar felt like it was holding its breath again. He removed the card from his pocket, the same one he had shown earlier, and placed it face down on the bar. "I don't want rank between us," he said. "Not anymore." That action surprised everyone. Rank was everything to him, or so they thought. The woman studied the card for a moment. Then she spoke. "You already crossed the point where titles matter," she said. The captain swallowed. "I know," he replied. "That's why I'm asking as a man now." The police officer shifted, sensing the tension drop. "What's going on?" he asked. The captain glanced at him. "Two soldiers," he said. "Working something out." The officer hesitated, then stepped back. The woman finally faced the captain fully. Her jacket was still wet, but she stood tall. "You want to know why I froze?" she said. "Yes," the captain answered. "Because it didn't look like fear." She nodded slowly. "It wasn't," she said. She looked around the bar, at the narrow space, the glass bottles, the crowd of bodies. "When I freeze," she continued, "I'm counting outcomes." The captain's brow tightened. "Outcomes?" he asked. "Who gets hurt?" she replied. "And how badly?" The words settled deep. The captain's mind worked fast. That was tactical thinking. Real tactical thinking. "You were scanning the room," he realized. "Yes," she said. "Exits. Hands. Distance." She paused. "And you?" The captain felt exposed. "You weren't helpless," he said quietly. "No," she replied. "I was responsible. Responsible. Not scared. Not weak. Responsible." The captain looked down at the floor. "I misread you," he said. "You underestimated me," she corrected. He nodded. "That too." A man at the bar whispered, "Who is she?" No one answered. The captain looked back up. "You said your call sign was buried," he said. "With people who didn't come home." Her jaw tightened. "Yes." He took a careful step closer, keeping his hands open. "That means you served in deep operations," he said. "Places where names disappear." She did not deny it. She did not confirm it. But her silence spoke loudly. "I shouldn't have asked," he admitted. "No," she said. "You shouldn't have demanded." That was the line. The turning point. The captain exhaled slowly. "In my world," he said, "we demand answers to stay alive." "In mine," she replied, "we choose silence to keep others alive." The room felt cold. Two paths. Two methods. Same purpose. Protection. The captain suddenly smiled. Not with ego. With respect. "You're not Navy," he said. "And you're not Army." She raised an eyebrow. "Smart," she replied. "You're something quieter," he continued. "Something people don't clap for." Her eyes met his. "Exactly," she said. The captain felt a weight lift. He finally saw her clearly. Not as a victim. Not as a challenge. But as an equal. "I owe you more than an apology," he said. "I owe you silence." She nodded. "That's all I wanted from the start." The captain stepped back and turned to the bar. "I'm paying for everything tonight," he announced. "And I'm leaving." People stared. No one argued. He turned back to the woman one last time. "Thank you," he said, "for not showing me what you could do." She gave a small, tired smile. "Some lessons," she said, "don't need force." She walked toward the door. The captain watched her go, and as the door closed behind her, he understood something he would carry forever. Power is loud, but true strength knows when to stay quiet. And this story was not finished yet. The door closed behind the woman. For a moment, no one moved. The bar felt empty, even though it was still full of people. The captain stood there, staring at the door. His drink sat untouched on the counter. The card with his rank was still face down on the bar, forgotten. The police officer cleared his throat. "Sir," he said, "do you want to file a report?" The captain shook his head slowly. "No," he replied. "I already did enough damage." The officer studied him for a second, then nodded and walked back outside. As the door closed again, the captain let out a long breath. He sat down heavily on the bar stool. Around him, people whispered. Who was she? That was intense. I've never seen him like that. The bartender finally spoke. "You okay, man?" he asked. The captain didn't answer right away. He looked down at his hands. Hands that had led teams. Hands that had carried the weight of lives. Hands that had just humiliated someone who didn't deserve it. She wasn't lying, the captain said quietly. The bartender frowned. "About what?" "Any of it," the captain replied. "She's the real thing." A man nearby leaned closer. "What do you mean?" he asked. The captain looked up. His eyes were different now. Humbled. "She froze," the captain said, "because she was trained to." The man scoffed. "Trained to get drinks thrown on her?" The captain shook his head. "Trained to hold control," he said. "When every instinct tells you to react." He paused. "That kind of control doesn't come from books." The room grew quiet again. "She's not regular military," the captain continued. "She's not even special forces." Someone whispered, "Then what is she?" The captain hesitated. He knew better than to speak too much. But the truth pressed on him. She's from the shadows, he said. The kind of unit that doesn't exist on paper. The bartender's eyes widened. Like secret. The captain nodded. Black operations, he said. Deep cover. No names. No recognition. The room felt colder. She wouldn't give her call sign, the captain went on, because saying it means opening a grave. No one spoke. She lost people, he added, and she carries that weight every day. The captain closed his eyes. I mocked her freeze, he said, but that freeze saved lives. Maybe mine too, a woman at a table whispered. She could have heard him. Yes, the captain replied. Easily, the truth settled in. The black woman they had judged, the one they pitted. She had been the most dangerous person in the room, and she chose peace. Outside, the night air hit her face as she walked down the street. The woman moved calmly, like nothing had happened. But inside her chest, memories stirred. Names, voices, faces that never made a home. She stopped under a streetlight. For just a second, she allowed herself to feel anger, pain, loss. Then she breathed it away. She had learned long ago not to carry emotion longer than needed. Her phone vibrated. One message, a single word, clear. She typed back, yes. Nothing else was needed. Back in the bar, the captain stood up. He picked up his card and tore it in half. Rank no longer mattered tonight. I thought strength meant control over others, he said to no one in particular. He shook his head. I was wrong. He paid the bartender and headed for the door. As he stepped outside, he looked down the street. She was already gone, but the lesson stayed. He had demanded a call sign, a name tied to sacrifice, to pain, to honor, and she had refused, not out of pride, but out of respect. Respect for the dead, respect for herself, respect for power that does not need to be shown. The captain squared his shoulders. Tomorrow, he would still be a leader, still a soldier, but never again the same man. Because that night, in a loud bar full of strangers, a silent warrior had reminded him of the most important rule of all. Not every hero wears a uniform, and the strongest ones never ask to be seen. Morning light touched the city softly. The noise of the night was gone. No music, no shouting, no tension, just the quiet hum of a new day beginning. The woman walked alone down the sidewalk. Her steps were steady. What happened to the bar was already behind her. She had learned long ago not to carry moments like that for too long. Holding on only slowed you down. She reached her car and paused. For a second, she looked at her reflection in the window. Not to check her face, but to remind herself she was still here. Alive. Whole. Across town, the captain sat alone at a small diner. His coffee had gone cold. He hadn't slept. The night replayed in his mind over and over again. The demand, the drink, the freeze, and then the realization. He had faced danger in war zones, but this quiet truth shook him more than bullets ever did. He had mistaken silence for weakness. He stared at his hands again. Hands that once symbolized command now felt heavy with regret. Across the line, he whispered to himself. The waitress passed by. You okay, Han? She asked. He nodded. Yeah, he said. Just learning something late. Back on the road, the woman drove as the sun rose higher. The city looked normal again. No one knew what had happened the night before. And that was how she preferred it. Her phone buzzed. Another message. Report. She thought for a moment, then typed. Unnecessary. A pause. Then a reply. Understood. That was it. No pras. No questions. Just trust. She turned onto the highway. Her life was not about recognition. It never was. In the past, she had stood in places no one would ever hear about. She had protected people who would never know her name. And she was at peace with that. Because real service was quiet. Back at the base, the captain stood in front of his team. They noticed something different right away. He was quieter, less sharp, more thoughtful. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't demand attention. Instead, he looked at each of them carefully. Before we trained today, he said, I need to say something. The room went silent. Power doesn't give us the right to disrespect, he continued. And silence doesn't mean weakness. His team listened. They could hear the truth in his voice. I forgot that, he admitted. And someone reminded me. He did not say her name. He never would. But the lesson stayed. That evening, The woman stood on her balcony, watching the city lights turn on one by one. She held a cup of tea, letting the steam warm her face. Her jacket from the bar hung over a chair, clean now. The stain was gone, but the memory had already faded. She didn't need revenge. She didn't need apologies. She had something stronger. Control, peace, dignity. Somewhere across the city, the captain looked up at the same sky. He thought about the question he had asked, the one that started everything. What's your call sign? He finally understood why she refused. A call sign was not a name. It was a story, a burden, a promise, and not everyone deserved to hear it. The woman closed her eyes. In her mind, she honored the voices of those who never came home. She did not speak their names. She carried them forward instead. That was her duty. That was her strength. The world would keep moving. People would keep judging, but she would remain the same. Silent, steady, unbreakable. And somewhere, a man who once believed power was loud now understood the truth. True strength does not demand respect. It earns it, and the strongest voices are often the ones that never speak at all.